He was taking care of whose sheep? His father-in-law Jethro's sheep. And he had the rod. When he met God, what God said to him? What do you have in your hand? You're a shepherd. That's your calling. That's your vocation. That's your ability. And God said, that's what I will use in Egypt. Your ability is what I'll cause you to become a god to Pharaoh. I'll make you a ruler in Egypt. And you know what God said to Moses? Throw the rod on the floor. What will happen? It became a snake. Take the snake by the tail, it will become a rod again. So basically, what was God doing? When this rod in the Ark of the Covenant symbolized what? It symbolizes your ability. It symbolizes your vocation, your call. Because your ability is what brings money to you. Your gift will make room for you and bring you before great people. So tie that back to Genesis chapter 1. We did. Your image is being sharpened by the law of God. Your character is being sharpened and shaped by the promise of God. And you will become blessed to be fruitful, to multiply, to fill, to control, to dominate your world. And Cyril did a very, very good job on that. And he said, it is your gift, it is your ability that makes you a ruler in your world. The world of arts, the world of education, the world of law and order, the world of business. If you don't work on your gift, you will be poor. It's your gift that makes room for you, that brings you before great people. Go to Exodus, go and look at Moses' life. God says to him, go to Pharaoh, tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Pharaoh says, no ways. What does God say to him? Take your rod and strike the river Nile, and what will happen? And the water will turn blood. What does the rod symbolize? Your job, your ability, your vocation, your trade, your profession. God says, that's what I'll use to do wonders in your world. When God was about to send frogs, what did God do? What did God say to Moses? What must he do? Take your rod and stretch it over the streams, and what will happen? And the frogs will come. When God wanted to bring the plague of lice in Egypt, what did God say to Moses? Take the rod and just wave it over the dust, or strike the dust. And what will happen? The entire Egypt will be plagued with lice. Now, thereafter you'll find that God didn't work with the rod. Thereafter Moses just spoke. And there were times Moses would say, God said, and it happened. And other times he said, I'm saying, and it happened. So, you progress from your hands to your mouth. There's a time when God will use your hands to create wealth, another time you just speak. And wealth will be created. But you have to understand how wealth is created. It's inside you. The bread is inside you. What do you have to do? You have to bring it out. Healing is inside you. We have to bring it out. Happiness is inside us. We have to bring it out. So, let me just wrap this whole thing up and so that you would know how to accelerate our pursuit to becoming a world-class business ministry. That's what the Kings and Priests are all about. Now, the most important thing, this is where the power resides, right? Your ability, your authority, and your image. Now, let me give you a picture. The best picture I can give you, because I said to you, don't get bent out of shape with words. Conceptualize things. Get a picture in your mind, work with the picture. Okay? Right, now there's the picture. Because this is how I make things easy for myself to understand God's word. If you want to really get a grip on the power of your subconscious mind, your inner self, your spirit man, You have to think of your spirit man, your subconscious mind, as a very, very powerful battery. A battery is the place where power is stored. What would happen if your car battery is dead? No, you're not going anywhere. If you want to go anywhere, it won't start, that's the point, good point, but you understand? You want to go somewhere. It's not about the starting, you want to go somewhere. So, if the power in your battery is dead, it's down, then you're not going anywhere. You're not going to achieve the vision. So the first thing that I want to remind you is, if you want to get a grip of this and really, really understand how to get placed with God, you've got to see your spirit man as a very, very powerful battery. Now, let's look at the original battery. The original battery, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 to 28. The original battery, it was a branded battery. It had whose logo on it? God's logo. Why? It was made in His image. What was the quality of this battery? It was made in His likeness. So He put the branding on it. He put the quality in it. I mean, when you buy products, what you want to buy it for? Price and quality, right? He put the quality in it. What else He put? He put the ability in it. He blessed it with ability. Now, the reason why your subconscious mind is so important and so powerful is because that's the place of your conscience, that's the place of your memory, that's the place of your emotions, that's the place of your willpower, and lastly, that's the place of your imagination. So, if you really want to tap into power, you've got to see your subconscious mind, your spirit man, as a powerful battery. Now listen to this. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 17, but the tree of the knowledge of the good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day you eat thereof, you will surely die. What was God saying? The day you disobey me is the day the battery dies. The day the power is going to run out of you. Was Adam still living? Yeah, he was still living, but he had a dead battery in him. So that's why God says to Adam, knowledge of good and evil. What happened to Adam? He never let the understanding of God and the knowledge of God filter what Satan was saying to him. He let that go into his subconscious mind. It contaminated the image, the likeness, and his ability. And the battery failed. The battery died. But God had to still keep the human beings alive in the Old Testament, right? So what he had to do? He had to recharge the battery. What was the recharge mechanism in the Old Testament for the battery? God built an altar. He said to the people, bring a sacrifice, fellowship with me. Every time you fellowship with me, I'll recharge the battery and you will be able to accomplish. That's why whatever Abraham went, what did he do? Think about this. As soon as the flood was over, why did God choose Noah? Because he was an altar builder. Why did God choose Abraham? He was an altar builder. Why did God choose Isaac? An altar builder. Why did God choose Jacob? An altar builder. Joseph, all through ages, you'll find the altar builders, people that knew how to recharge their spirit man, were the ones that were chosen to lead the nation. It's all about how powerful the battery was, because that's what God was looking for. In the New Testament, God didn't promise to recharge the battery. What did He promise? A brand new battery. A brand new battery. How do we know that? Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 19 to 20, God says, I'll put a new spirit within you. I will take out the stony heart out of you, and I will give you the heart of a flesh. If any man be in Christ, he is nothing changes on the outside. Something changed on the inside. There was a new battery put on the inside. Now, every battery needs a power supply, right? Think of your cell phone. The more you use it, what you must do. Every morning you got to recharge, right?